Bodybuilding has grown beyond its 1970s heyday with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Franco Columbu to become a more accessible sport for people from all walks of life, all around the world. Being a bodybuilder is more than a few sessions in the gym, and getting the right physique requires more than well-defined muscles. For many, it's a way of life. Bodybuilding is an important part of my life. I always set a clear goal for myself and then achieve it. Bodybuilding is becoming more and more popular among young Ukrainians because it can make them more healthy and attractive. It comes from the idea of building your body into an ideal shape. Not everybody can be a champion. Don't fall victim to illusions. If your genes don't allow for a good body, then bodybuilding isn't for you. A lot of people devote their lives to bodybuilding and hardly achieve anything, while others train with little to no effort with much better results, which is all due to genetics. Bodybuilding has become truly popular with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He seriously popularized the sport. He was a 7-time Mr. Olympia winner. Even now, his body is still considered the gold standard of the sport. Of course, there were others. Back in the 70s, there were athletes like Franco Columbu, Sergio Oliveira, and others, but Arnold still overshadowed them all. As far as I know, bodybuilding has been developing in Ukraine since 1991. Back in the early 90s, there were such athletes as Oleg Zur, for instance. He was a world champion, the only professional athlete to represent our country at Olympia weekend. I remember bodybuilding from the beginning of the 1990s. I was a kid back then, and I saw the posters with Ukrainian athletes, Anatoly Kudlai, and then Alexander Beloris, who's also a well-known athlete and world champion. As a child, I was very active, and I was constantly trying to find something to do. I tried my hand at choreography, folk dancing, drawing, karate, and rugby. Boxing was my first sport. I did it for a long time, about 4 years. I did powerlifting, and I was a master of sport in the main federation and a world-class master of sports in the alternative one. Later, I injured my back and knee. Of course, powerlifting means lifting heavy weights, so I couldn't compete with others on the international level. So I moved on to bodybuilding. Psychologically, it was a difficult time for me. I was used to eating a lot and all at once. But that's not the norm in bodybuilding, because I'd have to lose all this weight afterwards. I started bodybuilding when I was 15. It was in Hydro Park in Kiev at an outdoor gym where I met Roman Yushchenko and others who still live this world of iron with me. At that time, Kiev gyms were either outdated or brand new with the membership fee. It was too expensive for me at the time, and I felt uncomfortable asking my parents for money. Thankfully, Hydro Park showed up, which became my place of salvation. It's a gym where everything is crudely welded together. The benches aren't pretty, the equipment might be uncomfortable, but it's all free and available to everyone. No other gym provides that much equipment. I came to a gym for the first time more than 6 years ago. I just wanted to get into shape.
Потом пошли знакомства, мне стали интересны соревнования. Потом я
Later, I got more and more involved and got interested in competitions. I wanted to compete, so I started working with heavier weights, regularly exercising and eating well.
Питание.
At the beginning, the hardest part of training was preparation, because I thought it would mean don't eat, like don't eat anything at all.
Для меня понятие раньше было не кушать, это просто брать не
But it's actually completely different. You eat, but only certain foods at certain times, and you do it on a regular basis.
Продукты, и ты регулярно это делаешь.
There used to be fewer categories and competitions. They only had bodybuilding, men's fitness, and women's fitness, and that was it. Now bodybuilding is growing, and the IFBB wants to attract as many people as possible. Not everyone wants to look like a traditional bodybuilder. So the federation came up with a new lighter categories like classic bodybuilding, men's physique for guys, and women's physique and bikini fitness for girls. Girls don't need to bulk up to some kind of extreme muscle mass. They don't need to be huge. They can stay slim and have an athletic body without completely defined muscles.
I switched categories from bikini fitness to body fitness, which is a more serious category with more serious training. I used to think that it was difficult to compete in bikini fitness because of the sporty figure and body, but then I realized that I like a more muscular appearance, and that's more difficult now. It's never been difficult. Taking my first loss in boxing was difficult. It was embarrassing. To add insult to injury, 2 of my teeth were broken. I was a student. I had no money. I got roughed up and had to pay it out of my own pocket. There's nothing complicated about powerlifting. The most difficult thing has been in bodybuilding. It was following a diet. I had to lose 36 kilograms for my first competition, and that turned out to be really, really difficult.
The most difficult thing was my first championship of Ukraine. I took 6th place. We were standing in line for the final comparison round. 2 poses were left. Suddenly I realized that I was about to faint. But then I looked around, saw everyone standing, and I thought to myself, if they can do it, why can't I? I pulled myself together and stood till the end. When a person comes for training, then of course I need to know everything about the state of their health. Like if they have any problems with their spine or heart, their blood pressure might be high, there might be some exercises they shouldn't do. Above all, a personal trainer shouldn't do a client any harm. If someone wants to do competitions and take bodybuilding seriously, then the training for that is completely different. They need to dedicate almost all their free time to it. Bodybuilding isn't just a couple of hours at the gym, it's 24 hours, every day. You have to stay on a diet, stick to your regimen, and be in the gym on time. You don't get to work out or take time off based on your mood. You can't decide to just eat whatever. Your life goes strictly according to schedule. I do 6 workouts a week, but it's really become my way of life. If I miss a workout, I can feel the unspent energy inside of me, and I start to feel really uncomfortable. If a person knows enough about nutrition and the training process, he or she does not require the services of a coach or instructor. They can develop their own program. But my experience shows that there are a few such people. They might think that they know what they are doing, but many nuances and subtleties which they do not understand.
As for my training plan, in the beginning, we had reviewed the lagging muscle groups that needed more attention. For my last training, I developed my training program myself, recalling my previous mistakes. There are various categories in bodybuilding. If a person prepares for bodybuilding, he or she must build as much muscle as possible at the same time. The muscles must be as detailed as possible. The basic qualities to be estimated are proportions, volume, quality, detailing, and the general look of muscles. If you decide to start bodybuilding, the first thing you have to do is find a good instructor who trains and participates in competitions, him or herself. Avoid a coach who achieved nothing. You have to find a qualified person who will be able to teach you something. There are a lot of gyms in Kiev and in other cities, and in pretty much every gym, there's at least one person who's serious about bodybuilding. There are a huge number of tournaments and competitions, everything from regional to international ones. We've got regional competitions, the Kiev, Kharkov, and Kelomitsky Cups. There's a cup for each region. Then you end up with the regional team that goes to the national championship of Ukraine. They form a national team based on the results, and they fly to different international tournaments. You have to know how to show yourself off at competitions. It's not just about being in great shape, but there's also presentation and appearance. If you think of bikini fitness as being a princess, then body fitness is trying to combine femininity with strength. I won the Kiev Cup. I won the Ukrainian Championship. It was in Odessa. 10 days later, we were in Benidorm, Spain, for the World Championships. That was my first international competition. I exchanged social media contacts with guys from Poland, Spain, Germany. We congratulated each other. Hopefully, we'll keep in touch. It's hard to say whether professional sports are actually good for your health, since the main goal is winning. Sometimes you have to sacrifice. I've dealt with injuries. It's sport. There are always minor injuries. And I've had 2 major ones that kept me from training for a really, really long time. This is a great sport. It makes you disciplined. You become more disciplined, patient, and calm. And it's so much better to do sports than drink beer and sit on a bench outside.